Jakey Gardner, welcome to the Granite Zero podcast.
Oh, mate.
Legend.
Not quite.
Absolute sausage. How you doing? You good?
I'm good, mate. Keeping very, very busy. Yourself?
Ah, I try and say I'm busy. I'm not really. I don't really do much.
It's probably
Fucking
good.
how I roll, mate. How I roll. So what crazy shit you doing at the minute? You said you're training. What are you training for now?
I haven't got too much on at the moment. I've got a 100-mile cycle tomorrow, so I've got to get my shit together for that. And then a 5-day ultra marathon in June. So like beginning of June, about 160 miles in Slovenia.
Why?
Be busy, mate. Honestly, it's like it's good to have something to train towards.
Yeah, I agree there. That's a big thing. I find that I lose all motivation if I haven't got a goal to get to.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same.
After, I am now.
I put quite a lot of weight on last year when I got back because I had nothing to focus on. I put like 10 kilos on.
Yeah, I ate myself. I think
you did what?
I ate myself. So I wasn't a.
Say again. You ate yourself or you hate yourself?
No, I ate myself, as in ATE. Ate him.
Oh right.
But yeah, I hate him as well. I'm my own biggest critic. But yeah, so I was never I'm short, obviously, as you know, but I was never a small guy. But I got bigger than I should be, really, at my.
It's so easy.
It's fucking easily done, though, mate. With the
so easy. Like I think it's even worse if you've been training or you're kind of ex-military. You're used to burning those calories, like 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day, and the second you stop, you're used to eating the same amount of food, and it just piles on and on and on and on, and before you know it, you've put 5-10 kilos on.
Yeah, it's definitely easier to put it on than it is to burn it back off again. Definitely, but it's when you get stuck in the cycle and you're like, especially like the likes of us that have done it in the military, we know how to train. Usually we need someone to tell us to go and train, but we know how to do it. And it's the fact that you just get lazy, especially like,
well, life gets in the way.
Yeah, when you're serving, you're scheduled. Like you'll have phys Monday, you'll do a fucking 3-miler or whatever. Wednesday, sports afternoon.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're hanging out your ass.
Oh no, you completely.
It doesn't matter if you went out the night before. That's it. Well, you got to do it.
But though, seriously, fucking 100-mile bike ride tomorrow, and then in June you're doing what, 100 and.
Well, so over 5 days, it's about 155, 160 miles. Yeah. But it's a race, but I won't be racing. I'll just be potting along.
Potting along.
Yeah.
Is it?
Pretty much.
That's still mental.
It is when you think about it. But the thing is, when you're training and you're just building up a bit and a bit and a bit, it's not actually that bad.
So how do you start off then? How like, obviously you've gone, I fancy doing that.
Yeah.
So what level do you like start at with your runs? Do you start like a mile and then build up, or is it?
Well, if you're starting from nothing, if you're starting from like literally nothing, you're best off getting like a training program, and then it will gradually. So instead of aiming for like 5-10 miles, you're going to aim towards doing an hour, but your heart rate. It has to stay within 115 to 135 beats per minute.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
So that's the best kind of training program because you're not pushing yourself too hard, and then you can carry that on and gradually build it up over time. Yeah,
I do get that because the reason why I bring it up is obviously Chrissy Dunn. He did the London Marathon with pretty much zero training, and I'm still like. In awe of it. I'm not going to tell him I'm in awe of it because I'm like, fuck you, prick.
That's pretty impressive.
But it literally, I would text him and go, how much training you done today? He'd be like, I haven't done anything yet, mate. I'll just cuff it on the day. I went, it's a marathon. He was like, yeah, but we used to just cuff runs when we were serving. I went, that was different. That wasn't 26 miles. You fucking mad head. He was like, I'll do it on the day. He pretty much did it on the day. I don't know what his time was.
Yeah.
I think it was over 4 hours, I think, but still.
Like with no training, anything under 5 hours.
I think it was about 4 hours. I don't know. I might have just plucked that out of fucking wherever.
But you know what? Like I'd say like the biggest battle is up here, because you can get through quite a lot. Well, you already know this, but you can get through some huge physical kind of barriers, not by just sheer fitness, but it's mind over
matter, as they say. Yeah, definitely. And it's one of the most powerful tools you can have. And I think that's why Chris managed to do it, was because he had it in his head that he wasn't going to give up.
Yeah.
He said he's done things like that before.
That's the thing.
He's carried loads of weight over on tour, so carrying nothing and walking or jogging, he said he would be all right. And fucking fair play to him.
Fair play to him. That's pretty impressive. But yeah, if you know you can do it, that's it. You'll get it done one way or another. Even if you've got to walk half of it, you'll get it done. Yeah,
I think if I did it, I wouldn't give up. Like, I'm full of injuries as it is. As my back's fucked, my fucking ankles are fucked, my knees are fucked. Yeah. But I won't start. I did one of those fucking Spartan races with not a great deal worth of training, but still not a fucking 100 and god fucking who knows how many miles.
Yeah, it won't be fast miles. It would just be like the vertical gain each day is about 2,500 meters.
Yeah.
So I'll just be walking up the hills. I'm not a good runner.
I'm not a good runner. I'm just gonna run all the miles. How many miles are you doing? All of them.
All of them, 100%.
You've done it in the desert as well, haven't you? With the poles.
Yeah, that was a bit crazy, that one, because I hadn't done a marathon or anything like that before, and I was like, well, it's a long story, but it was like my second goal. I set out to do kind of either the marathon des Sables or something that's kind of similar to it, so like a desert run.
Yeah.
I just said, well, I'm going to do it. I hadn't run a marathon before, and I trained. Don't get me wrong, I did train, but I hadn't crossed the barrier, the marathon barrier. But the main thing with that one is the heat.
You got to be careful. You're fucking ginger, aren't you?
Yeah, I was slapping on the 50. I was slapping on the 50, but I didn't get sunburnt. Believe it or not, I didn't get sunburnt once. But this will put it in perspective. On the longest day, which was the Wednesday, I did about 75k, and I was fucked because I set up too quick on the day before and the day before that, because you go and you're fine, and then you realize it's 5 days of running. But the longest day, I was out for 15 hours in the sun, and it was it went over 40 degrees at one point, and it's a different kind of heat than what we get in the UK. The sun's bouncing off the sand, and not only are you getting it on top, but you're getting it from underneath as well. I drank 15 liters of water that day.
15?
Yeah.
And I hydrate or die, troops.
Yeah. And I went for a piss twice.
Jeez. Just leaking out though.
Yeah, just sweating.
Just all the sweat. Bathed in it afterwards.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even see the sweat. It was just like
just evaporated straight away. Fuck mate, that's mental. That is mental. Like
that is mental. It's mental.
You're a little bit mental, I think. I think you need to get checked out, mate.
Nah, mate. Nah, mate.
I'm all right. I just run ultra marathons in the desert and climb the world's biggest mountain. It's fine. That's what I do.
Well, you only live once, don't you?
To be fair, mate, it's fucking brilliant. Like, hats off to you completely. Like that. When we spoke on and you said that you were doing it, I was like, fuck it, that's brilliant. Like, Seriously, like.
Well, the thing, what you get is a lot of people will be like, "Wow," but I don't think anyone really believes that you're really going to get it done.
Yeah.
There's some people do, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people like, "Wow, we'll see," kind of thing.
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
fair
Okay,
enough.
mate, you're gonna climb in.
Okay, mate, yeah.
All
right. We'll see. But
because you have to get fund. Do you have to get funded, or do you fund it yourself? It's expensive, isn't it?
yeah. So what I did, you're gonna call me crazy again, but what I did was I wanted to prove that like anyone could do it.
Yeah.
Right, just normal guy or girl who like my yeah. Well,
carefully your pronouns, mate.
don't go there. Yeah, someone on a normal salary, because I don't earn that much money, could do it. So I did, in the space of 2 years, I did 2,400 hours of overtime.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So
Just
I was doing
they go, who's doing overtime? Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly.
How many hours do you want? All of them?
Yeah, all of them.
Non-stop.
Yeah, so doing a normal 40-hour week, and then I'd do 10-hour days. So I'd fit my 40-hour week into 4 days, and then 2 days of overtime, as well as emergency call out in the evenings.
Not fair play.
So I didn't get any funding, but I just smashed the work relentlessly, because I was I just wanted.
That must have put a bit of pressure on the old home life.
Oh, of course it did. Yeah, of course it did.
Understanding chick though.
Yeah.
She's like, that's your dream to climb that mountain. I'll stand by it.
Especially when I'm getting called out like 10, 11 p.m. at night, and getting back at 3 a.m. in the morning, and then getting up at 6:30 to go to work.
Fucking hell. She's quite hanging out as well. And obviously you have to fit in training around that as well.
Oh yeah. And with the training, because it was like COVID and all that kind of stuff, there was no gyms open, and I couldn't get to the hills. So I bought a treadmill. I drove all the way down to Weymouth, which is probably like a couple of hour drive. Picked up a treadmill with a max incline, threw it in the conservatory, and then I was on that 3 or 4 hours a day, about 6 days a week.
Yeah, right. That is in itself crazy. Obviously, because treadmills are boring.
They're super boring.
So what do you do? What do you do? Podcast, movies, audio books?
Just whatever. Like
all of it.
I'll throw something on, and then some music or whatever. Yeah,
play. Just listen to the demons in your head.
All that, yeah.
A
lot of that happened, yeah.
I had a buddy of mine that did an Everest challenge during lockdown, and he basically walked up and down his stairs to simulate going up Everest. I can't remember how many times he had to do it, but it was basically like a 24-hour fucking jobby. He was fucked at the end of it. He was like proper fucked. I was like, you're an idiot.
That's ridiculous.
You're an idiot. Why are you doing that? Wear your carpet out.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Especially with like 24 hours, up, down, up, down, up, down.
How long did it actually take you when you were in Nepal?
I was out there for 2 months. So you've got to gradually acclimatize. So I was going up, and you gradually get up, and then you go down a bit, and then you go. So I was out there for 2 months, and Everest itself, so from base camp, when we went for our summit push, I think was about 6 or 7 days.
Fair play.
Yeah, and the only reason it took that long was because we were stuck at Camp 2 for like, I think it was 4 or 5 nights.
Yeah.
Because the weather was a bit crap.
Well, yeah, because it like does what it wants, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like Wales.
Pretty much, yeah. And the thing is, you get caught. I've been caught out in the UK with weather. Ben Nevis or Snowdon. It can be pretty brutal, especially in the winter. you got 60-mile-an-hour winds, and you're getting thrown over, and that's only 1,000 meters.
Yeah.
Like at 8,800 meters, if the weather comes in, that's it. You're dead. There's nothing you can do about it.
How did you like get your head around that then? Was it one of those, I've done semi-scary things within the regiment, like going out, possibly not coming back, etc., getting injured?
Yeah.
You have it in your head, well, I've done some scary things, this is just another scary thing on the list? Or have you just not got that fear factor?
I've got the fear factor. I think it was, the confidence came from how much I trained and what I'd done before to like kind of prepare for it. So I'd experienced like kind of altitude before, and I'd say I'm quite good at climbing hills. So,
yeah, fair one.
I'm not good at many things, but climbing hills, I'm pretty good at that, and altitude. So I was confident, but I was very what's the word called? Precautious.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I make words up on here all the time, so it's fine. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I was very I think it's precautious, but so I was taking it easy.
Yeah.
And I wasn't pushing myself too hard. And the plan was to climb like the summit Everest without oxygen. That was the plan.
Yeah.
And that's what I trained for. But I got to 8,000 meters without oxygen, and that was okay. Like from usually climbers use oxygen from either camp 2 or camp 3, which is like 6,000 or 7,000 meters.
Yeah, fair. So you've gone a fair distance without oxygen.
Yeah, fair distance, and I felt strong, but because we stayed at 8,000, like there's a camp at 8,000 meters, because we stayed there for more than 24 hours. I was like, well, I don't want to jeopardize the summit attempt, and I also want to be able to wake up in the morning.
Yeah,
if I sleep,
as most people want to do. Like,
because quite a few people have died where they've been at 8,000 meters, and
yeah, of course, obviously.
Yeah, because what you do,
the lack of oxygen makes you fucking knackered anyway, doesn't it? And then you're drifting, and then who knows what could happen.
So I was super precautious with that. So I used oxygen from 8,000 up and back down to camp 3, I think. But in hindsight, I think I'm probably going to go back and try it again without oxygen.
Do it. What's the worst that could happen?
So someone would be using me as a marker, like a marker stuff.
Oh yeah, because obviously the fucking body, they can't bring them down, can you? Obviously it's you hard. Can if you died next to you, you could probably bring it down, but you know what I mean.
Well, it is like because they're not hard, they're not frozen. It's so difficult because it's hard enough getting yourself up and back down.
Could you use it as like a snowboard?
Probably not.
Like a cartoon.
I don't think my families would be too happy with that either. But But the thing is, it's like because they're like the bodies that are up there, they're rock hard because they're frozen.
So do you just see them like you're climbing up and then they're there's Dave?
Yeah. On Summit Day, I think I saw about 5 bodies on Summit Day.
That's mad. It's like a massive graveyard.
And
obviously the rubbish as well. There's loads of rubbish, isn't there?
Well, there isn't that much rubbish actually.
There isn't.
No.
Oh, you see, you get one side of things, don't you? So you get like the news.
Well, everything gets zoomed into like the queues, which can be bad because there's like most of it's only one fixed line. But the rubbish, most of the rubbish, I think it was bad at one point, but most of the rubbish has been taken down. There's still a bit of rubbish at Camp 4, which is 8,000 meters. But Nepal have run, I can't remember the charity, I think it was a charity or government-led scheme that actually pay the Sherpa for the amount of waste they bring down.
Oh, got you.
So when we were there, they were bringing quite a bit down.
Fair enough, like.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
There's obviously a lot of human waste, and from
Well,
doing burn pits in fucking Afghan. That's not a nice job.
there's no benefits. there's no benefits, but they just dig holes.
Big old
And
shit.
and it's all moving anyway. Like the glacier is moving anyway, so it's all moving down. So it kind of just gets
like nature's own toilet flushing system.
Yeah.
But fair play though. But so apart from the rubbish and the dead bodies, it must be really fucking picturesque.
Oh, it's incredible.
Like just looking at that one photo of you like going up there, I was like, oh, like I've got FOMO on that. I'm like, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, it's one of the best experiences that I've ever had in my life. Like it's breathtaking, especially when it's blue skies and everything's. It is honestly, it's just incredible. It's just it
must be hard to like put into words without actually doing it. Like
it's kind of godly.
Like when you like got to the top and you're looking out, that you must have been what a unbelievable self-accomplishment that is. Like you made it. Do you have a little flag?
It's definitely life affirming.
Did you have a little flag?
I didn't have a flag. It was actually pretty windy when we went up.
You borrowed mine.
Really. I did have a flag, but I couldn't get it out. Like on a summit day, everyone's summit day is a bit different, but on ours, because we chose to go up not with the crowds, I don't want to be any part of queues or anything like that. The day before, I think 110 or 120 people summited on that day, and on the day that we went up, I think about 20.
Wow, that's a big difference.
Yeah, huge difference.
That's crazy numbers in itself, because when you, as like a layman, and you're looking at it, you're like, well, not many people could be going up there, and then you say things like, well, there's queues, like you're at fucking Alton Towers or something.
Yeah, I don't want to be part of any of that.
No, nobody's got time for queuing, mate. Fast track, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I hate queues. But the reason for that was because of the weather windows. We had one of the worst seasons for weather. We had two typhoons. I think they're called typhoons. Where there was only like a few days of summer windows.
Yeah,
and that's why everyone went up there. We chose a day that like they had great weather the day before. We chose a slightly worse weather day.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
just you know what I want to do? What I want to go up there in the worst weather.
Not the worst.
There's my ace.
But you
trumped you.
Fucking
trump you, Mims.
That guy's just
that guy is something else. I watched the documentary. I was like, this is ridiculous. It's
crazy, and he's definitely got the altitude genetics.
Oh, of course he has.
Yeah, it's trying to explain. I think it's probably women's tennis. Serena Williams and
Venus.
Yeah. It's kind of like them competing against the rest of the field.
The rest of the women.
Yeah.
It's funny though. This is actually going back onto pronouns and shit. Have you heard what Venus and Serena said if they went to the men's tennis?
No.
So she said we'd get destroyed. They're built different.
Okay.
Jen story that.
Yeah.
So, testosterone. There you go. Winner. We win. Stop competing with us. Now we could definitely go on a tangent on that. And
we could go down a big rabbit hole.
We do that too often on this. Yeah. No, but he is built different, and the Nepalese, the Gurkhas, incredible. They're an incredible race of people. I must admit, I've got a couple of Gurkhas that work with me, and they're the best workers. They are the best workers.
They're hard workers, and they're really, really nice people.
Yeah, very polite.
Really nice people, and they will bend over backwards to help you. But they're very proud. They're very proud. And religious, and you wouldn't want to cross them.
Oh no, they've got that darkness, mate. They've got the darkness.
Yeah,
they definitely have that.
Yeah, very, very kind people. Yeah.
Yeah, they still have like that warrior sort of spirit, don't they? Where they're very gracious, very courteous, but I'll rip your face off if you cross me.
Exactly, yeah. Which I like. I like that.
Yeah, I like that kind of person.
Uh-huh.
Not like the fucking roadmen you have in London. Fucking dirty little cunts.
What do they do?
Oh, it's horrible, mate, aren't they? Like, I sent a video to a pal of mine the other day. He runs a boxing gym in Brixton, I believe, in London, and it was a video, right, of this. I think she was like a disabled lady, but she's got a crowd of school kids around her that are taunting her, and she doesn't really know what to do, so she slaps this fucking lad to get him away.
Yeah,
he pulls a fucking knife out and stabs her.
It's not surprising.
Several times. And I was like, that's why I don't want to go to London. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's not just London. There's areas around here that aren't great.
Yeah, stuff like that shouldn't be happening. I don't fully understand why that happens.
No.
I don't fully understand.
I don't really understand the gang sort of mentality. Like, when I grew up, where I grew up in Everest, quite a placid sort of place considering the blokes that live there. But it's quite like, if you got in a fight, you got in a fight. It was no like,
yeah,
even if you hit someone and you've knocked them down,
yeah,
you don't like it. Yeah, that's it. It's like I've beaten you.
You're there to try and kill them.
I'm the winner.
Who in their right mind stabs a disabled?
Yeah, that's not okay, hun. You can't do that sort of shit.
But the law, I don't understand. Like the police don't have that much power. Really.
Yes, and it's one of those as well, especially with the police. I feel sorry for the police, mate. Like, because they have the powers of stop and search. They stop and search someone, and they're like, "Well, you're doing this because of my race. You're doing this because of my religion. You're doing it." It's like, no, I'm doing it because this is an area prone to knife crime.
Ridiculous.
I've seen it before where there's a video of a lady going, "What are you searching him for? What's he done? Is it because he's black? Is it because he's this?" And he literally goes, "No, it's because he's carrying a knife." And they pull a knife out, and it's about this big.
Yeah,
like an actual machete.
I bet she starts screaming, "You can't do that!"
Yeah, it's literally, it's like this. It's about that big.
Yeah,
pulls that out. It stays in here.
I don't know. Like, surely people want the streets safer, and if you've got nothing to hide,
that was always a big thing for me, mate. The defund the police shit. Because I know you want to put more money into the police so they're better trained.
Yeah.
And then
definitely, yeah.
It's just, that's a massive rabbit hole in itself, my man.
Yeah.
They're fucking everywhere. They're everywhere. Fucking 100-mile bike ride tomorrow. You're fucking mental.
Yeah. It's a fun cycle.
To be fair, what's the weather like tomorrow?
I haven't checked.
Fucking Michael Fish. What's the weather like? If it's nice, to be fair, I like going out on the bike when it's nice.
Okay, wait a second, I'll check that out. I should probably.
You probably should check that. If you might want to change your tires.
I haven't got to change the tires. Cloudy. Yeah, I'll be right. I've got all day anyway. I'm doing it with a mate, so I should be pretty chilled out. As long as it's not too windy. The wind is a bit of a nightmare on the bike.
I totally agree. I used to cycle to work, and especially in the winter is horrendous. Like, it's just the wind. It's like, normally I'd like do the trip, and it would take me about half an hour to get to work, and but this it was the fucking wind in me, and it would take like 45 minutes, and I was like, why does it take me so long? Oh yeah, the wind in my face.
Relentlessly pushing me backwards.
Yeah. So here's one thing for you then. So you did the ultra marathon in the desert. You're doing another ultra marathon, which, because you're crazy. You climb Mount Everest. You've been to Afghanistan.
Yeah.
When's the book?
When
are you doing a book?
I've got to do something to justify having a book.
You haven't just climbed Mount Everest.
Yeah. Well,
I thought you automatically got a book deal if you went up Everest. No,
I don't
only if
like
you're special forces and climb up Mount Everest.
yeah,
You get
exactly. Yeah. Well,
fucking
to be
Bear
honest,
Grylls has got a book.
I don't like. I'm not a massive fan of the PR and the media side of things. So I yeah, unless I'm collaborating with like somebody and they need me to go on the radio or to kind of push
Yeah, I get you.
something out there, then I don't contact newspapers or radio stations or anything like that. So
yeah, you just jump on this podcast, you'll get a bit of hate now. Join my club.
Yeah. But like to bring it back to the whole challenges and all of that kind of stuff, that originated from when I was injured in Afghanistan in 2013.
Yeah.
And basically, like, they had rehabilitation at Headley Court, and I had a couple of those and a load of rehabilitation back at Honington.
Yeah.
And part of that, as well as the physical rehabilitation, you got the kind of mental side as well. So they're like, oh, you've got to set yourself some goals. So you need a short-term goal, a medium, and a long-term goal.
Yeah, got you.
So my goals were to do a triathlon, the run in the desert, and then Everest, and that was my three goals, and yeah.
Fair play, mate.
So that's where it started.
Did you ever want to do the Invictus Games or anything like that, or was that can't be bothered?
I did think about it, but I don't really put myself in the bracket of that bracket of being in the Invictus. If you know what I mean.
I understand what you mean by that. By the way, it's
like for me. I mean, I wasn't shot. I wasn't blown up. I was just catapulted out of the top of an armored vehicle.
Yeah.
And I haven't lost any legs or arms, and I get on with life. My back's a bit fucked, but
I get you on that. And like, when I've watched the Invictus Games before, and you see some of the people that competed, and they're like, "Oh, I hurt my toe once in the Navy," and you're like, and you're like, "All right, cool." So you're swimming now against a bloke that's only got one arm. It's like, I don't get it.
It's one of those lines. It's like one of those lines. Like, it's quite difficult sometimes because just where is the line? Where can you tell somebody, actually, you were medically discharged, but we can't allow you to do this, to do that.
I get it. I just thought it'd be maybe something you looked at, but I totally understand your logic behind not wanting to do it as well. Yeah. That's fair enough. You could have ended up like Robbo and get an MBE.
Oh, he's an absolute animal. Legend.
He's living the dream now, isn't he? He's supposed to be coming back on in June or July. We'll talk about the Olympics and whatnot.
Yeah, he's absolutely smashing it. It's awesome. It's awesome to see someone from 15.
It's one of those weird things that it's like a saying that you want to say, but also you don't want to say. Like, it's almost the best thing that's ever happened to him. Being blown up.
100%. And that, I can completely relate to that, because we bring it back to when I got injured. It's obviously not the same because he got both his legs blown off, but I was injured on the 13th of the 1st, 2013, and 13 is now my lucky number because of everything that's happened afterwards. Because on that day, like the kind of weeks and months that happened afterwards, I look back on it and I was like, well, if I had died that day, which could have happened because the vehicle just stopped before it hit me or went over me, whatever, would I have been happy with everything that I achieved to that point? And the answer was no.
Yeah, I get it.
And
I was working that day.
Yeah.
I dealt with the Kazivac on the radio, like I did with all of them.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Yeah.
Tommo can't be stressed or depressed. He didn't deal with anything. I dealt with every major incident.
Yeah.
You try listening. You try listening on the radio and hearing that your mate's been injured.
I was a bit out of it. Yeah. That's stressful. Yeah.
It's horrible.
But
you don't.
But
you're okay because you're in the command center, so don't worry about it.
No, I understand that.
It's one of those people just don't understand. But yeah, I'm actually fucking really impressed with how you've dealt with your injury, leaving the military, and how you've progressed now through doing your goals, getting your ultras in.
I appreciate that. No, I really appreciate that. It's it was tough to begin with, but I just kind of like I said to myself, I was like, well, like I said before, was I happy with everything that I achieved? No. So that I need to do something about it. So I aim to do one. I aim to do one kind of big or medium thing a year, because time flies past. You get caught up with work and
definitely,
and all that kind of stuff. So if you aim to do one thing, I do it from birthday to birthday, so September to September. So I'll book something, or I'll plan to do something like once a year.
Yeah.
And then it ticks on, and then before you know it, you're doing some pretty punchy things.
Definitely, mate. Definitely. It's fucking awesome, mate. I'm really impressed with the goal setting. I'm really impressed with everything that you've done. I'm similar. Like, I can't sit still. I always want to do some sort of activity. Like, my missus is sort of clocked on now. I'm organising another football match, kind of without her knowing, because last time I got really stressed and annoying everyone. But I'm going to do it as a team this time instead of just on my own. So we've got that sort of in the motion for next year.
Nice.
There's a few other things that I want to do. I want to do a black tie event is one thing I want to do. It's not fitness related at all. Just pissed up with maybe a few former guests that have got some stuff that they can donate and shit. But I like to do things for charities and great causes like Rock to Recovery that I'm wearing now. Because of what they do and what they give back, and that's what I like to do.
Yeah, Rock to Recovery is awesome. Everything that they do, and I'll tell you one thing. I should probably kind of do a bit of a shout out is the Adaptive Grand Slam. Have you heard of them?
No.
The Adaptive Grand Slam. So they is a guy called Martin Hewitt, ex-parachute regiment officer, which created this charity and organisation, and it's basically why I am where I am now.
Fair play.
So this kind of the stepping stones towards Everest with Aconcagua, which is the highest mountain outside the Himalayas and the highest mountain in America. So I got involved with that with Martin and the Adaptive Grand Slam and a load of other really cool people. So
awesome.
Yeah, they are awesome.
Well, do you know what, Jakey boy? What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a pin in this, and we're going to schedule a part 2.
Part 2, wow.
Because I know you've got other bits to do, probably with your missus, probably actually spend some time with her.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. You've obviously got training to do. I've actually got to shoot off to my father-in-law's fucking birthday. That my missus like, you coming to the birthday? We're all having a take. I was like, I don't want a takeaway. I've got a podcast to do. It's priorities.
Yeah.
Podcast comes first.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? But yeah, mate, seriously, brilliant story. Fucking love the fact that you've overcome. I'll tell you what we'll do. You've gone to the motto itself, gone through adversity.
Per ardua ad astra.
Yeah.